Okay, so before I get into the actual topic of this video, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the art in this video. So my plan was, like I said in my previous one, I was planning on doing these ball head flower aliens up until Inktober starts, because I felt like I haven't been doing enough of them, and there's something that I used to do a lot of and I wanted to get back into doing them. Obviously I'm not going to do like only these ball head aliens like I did do a draw this in your own style challenge. I didn't film it, I just posted it on my Insta, but I'm not planning to like only draw these ball head aliens, but I do like them. I love these flower crown aliens. So that was my plan. I was going to draw this girl, and then once I drew her, which, you know, obviously I'm not up to that part, but once I drew her, I realized she kind of looked like she was looking at something, and her position just seemed a little bit off for her just to be there by herself. So like way later on in the video, you're going to see me like draw this cube thing, like a three-dimensional cube. A cube is three-dimensional, I guess. Anyways, I draw a cube and in the editing phase I added into the picture, but once it's in there I realize it looks weird, and it takes me a couple of tweaking things to realize that the reason why it looks so weird in the drawing is that the drawing has a cross-hatching shading and the little cube does not. So I go back, put the cross-hatch shading in, and then I re-edit it again with the new cube with the cross-hatch shading, and it looks a lot better to me. I mess with the sizing a little bit. That's just a little bit of what I do with the editing. Sometimes I don't like the way the final drawing turns out, so I edit it a little bit. Like sometimes I'll draw something on the face and I don't like the way it looks, so I'll just take it out when I edit it, or something along those lines. Just never anything too drastic. It usually looks pretty much like what my finished drawing looks like, but for this one, obviously I wanted two drawings matched together, but what the final looks like, it doesn't look like what it looks like on my paper, because there's a part of it that's not in the original final, and only because there wasn't enough space to put it exactly where I needed it to be. I wish I would have made her slightly smaller. It moved her over just a couple of notches to the left, and then I would have been able to put the cube in properly, but you'll see what I'm talking about when I get up to that part, how I add the cube in. Anyways, I like the way it looks in the end with the cube. It's cute. So that's what I did. Obviously I drew both parts, but I just meshed them together in the end. I mean, I didn't like draw the cube. Like I kind of traced the cube because that cube was kind of hard to draw. So I like found a cube on Pinterest and traced it. That part was a little bit hard, but I mean, I drew it after that, so, you know, I did all the cross-hatching, I did all the shading, and I did all the editing, so there's that. The cube was hard, okay? It was hard to get straight lines. Leave me alone. Don't bother me. Oh my God, tracing is bad. Mind your business. Okay, anyways, we're gonna get on to the topic of this video. So, it's been a while since I've done a Mental Health Monday, and I said I was gonna do one, so I am going to. It was in my 2019 summer goals. Summer's almost over. We have like this last month left of summer. September 23rd is the fall equinox, so I need to start getting the stuff off that list done before I reach the end of it. So one of those things was to do a Mental Health Monday video. I think I said every Monday or every other Monday. Anyways, I failed in that task, and I have not done one Mental Health Monday video all summer, so I'm gonna do one today. Recently I've been doing these Mental Health Monday videos where I take a mental illness and I illustrate it, and then I describe the illness and the side effects and everything like that goes along with it. But this time I'm going to be taking a little bit more personal approach, and I'm just going to be talking about navigating my life with anxiety. Obviously I'm not going to get like too much into it because there's a lot that goes into that, so I'm just going like surface level for right now, and hopefully it'll teach someone something, or it'll make someone feel better. I don't know. Okay, I'm just gonna start. I'm just gonna talk about it. I'm just gonna start now. Okay, so navigating life with anxiety is not an easy feat, especially not for someone like myself who has perfected the art of hiding their mental illness. I am very good at it. I think I am, and lots of other people tell me I am too. They usually can't tell that I have any mental illnesses until I let them know that I have a plethora of them. So the reason I say it's harder for me because I have a mental illness is because when it comes to the point that I can't hide it, or I'm in a situation that I can't hide it from, I then get looked at as being weird or like substandard because I can't perform a certain task easily, or I can't perform the task at all. People also often tend to like infantilize someone if they believe that they should be able to perform something that they can't, or if they feel like they themselves can perform the task. So why can't this person who is equally my age or older can't perform the task as well? And it is very frustrating. For example, I'm just going to use myself, obviously, because it's myself. But for example, oftentimes at my workplace, people will think that I'm like a well-rounded person. They're like, oh, you have a full-time job, you have your own apartment, you take care of yourself, it's you and your cats, like whatever. But once they learn that I don't have a car, and once they learn that the reason I don't have a car is because I don't know how to drive, I am suddenly seen as being either childish or like substandard somehow because of my age, I guess. I get questions that range from, why didn't you ever learn? How are you afraid? What? How are you afraid to drive? To like, how old are you again? And that's when I'm like, yeah, you can mind your business. And it's very frustrating. The number of tasks that I complete in a day that are hard for me to do, and that I'm very good at hiding, just like hard for me to do or for me to complete with my anxiety always present, but I complete them anyways. There are a number of tasks that other people can complete with ease without having to think about anyone else, without having to psych themselves up to get themselves in the mood to do the task, or without them having to like rehearse all the words they're gonna say a million times. Like for them, there's just a ton of tasks that it's easy that they don't have to think about doing at all. But for me, there's so many everyday tasks that my anxiety makes it very, very, very hard to do. But I still do them, like saying good morning to people in the morning. That's hard. Speaking first without being prompted in a conversation, that's hard. Having people approach me and not running the other way, yeah, that's something I have to work on not doing. I mean, I don't do it, but I'm saying like that's a hard thing to do. I don't like people walk up to me. I want to go the other direction. I don't want them walking up to me. They'll have them making eye contact and I'm like, oh God, they're gonna talk to me. Like, I don't want to do that. Taking out my trash. That's very hard. That's always been a hard thing for me. It's like one of the things, like one of the real things. Like that's a hard thing for me to do. I hate taking out my trash. Even leaving my house in the morning, like deciding to leave the house every day, every time I leave my door, that's a hard thing to do. But I hide it well. So when it comes to a task that I can't hide how hard it is for me to do, it's not seen as the one thing I can't do after going through an entire day of difficult tasks and succeeding to not let my anxiety trap me in house. Instead, it's seen as an easy task that I'm acting too childish to complete, instead of like the one task at the end of a very hard day of going through different tasks that are hard for me to do that people don't have to think about doing. It's like the one thing I can't do now. This is also made even more difficult as I already have a hard time asking for help, and so that really gives me anxiety. Like I don't like asking people for help. That gives me anxiety already. So if I'm at the point where I'm asking in help for doing something and then I get told that I need to learn how to do it myself, it puts me in a position where I tend to just avoid the task altogether. For example, and this is just an example, it doesn't happen often or like a lot, but this is the example. So for example, if I'm out and about in the world facing my anxiety, out and about with other humans, I will sometimes ask my family, because those are the only people I hang out with. I will ask them, like if we're going to like a restaurant or something, not a restaurant, but like I don't want to say fast food place, let's just say Starbucks, if we're going somewhere like to drink something, I will ask if they can place my order for me. Now usually there's no issues with this and they don't mind doing it, but every once in a while the answer will be no, and in these instances I will just decide that I am not hungry or thirsty in an effort to avoid a more anxiety inducing situation than being outside of my house. So I usually would just avoid the situation altogether, and instead of being like, oh, but I really need help with this and it's hard for me to do this, I'll just say, no biggie, I didn't want it anyways. Or nope, I don't want to go in there, so forget it, I don't need anything. That's what I usually tend to do. So that's that. Navigating the world with anxiety is also hard when it comes to people simply not believing that I have anxiety at all because I hide it very well. There are a number of things that I push myself to do that are way out of my comfort zone and they give me anxiety on the daily, like making this friggin' channel and making my second channel where I actually show my face. What the heck? Posting my art online, posting my art to be bought, posting my personal pictures on Instagram, being able to hold a conversation, all of these things, these are hard. But because of these things, it tends to make people think that my anxiety is not real, because I am able to do these things, because I'm able to push myself to do these things. It makes people think that essentially I am lying about having anxiety, which is the weirdest thing to me. Like, who does that? It's very annoying when you have something that makes your life a lot harder to navigate than the average person, and then it's questioned on whether the validity of that is something that's true. Like, I wish I didn't have to deal with anxiety on a daily basis. I have no reason to lie about mental illness. This is not something I want attention on. Trust me, this is not the type of thing I want to be talking to people about, okay? This is not like the thing that I want to be doing, to be walking outside and not being able to do daily tasks that I need to complete. Like, that's not something that I want to do. So it's annoying when people question the validity of my anxiety. Like, oh, it seems like you don't have it, or like, you look like someone who doesn't have anxiety, or you behave like someone who doesn't have anxiety. It's like, if you don't behave a certain way all of the time, suddenly your anxiety doesn't exist, or your mental illness doesn't exist, because this can go for other mental illnesses as well. I'm not just singling out anxiety. But I don't talk about my anxiety often, even to my family. It's not something that I bring up like a whole lot. And I know that it's something that is so ingrained in me to like treat mental illness as something that should be secret and not spoken about, not like spoken oftenly and openly about. And that's the whole reason why I started this whole Mental Health Monday series in the first place. And lately I have been really slacking in creating these videos. So I was hoping to create this to like open up someone's mind a little bit, maybe. Anyways, I'm done with my rant about dealing with anxiety on a daily basis. It's hard, okay? All right, it's hard, whatever. Okay. Anyways, I just wanted to create this video to bring more awareness to mental health and anxiety in particular. Hopefully this video will have given someone a bit more insight on what it's like to deal with anxiety on a daily basis. And that's all. Hopefully you like my little alien girl too, because I like her, and you know, by now you know what I was talking about with the whole cube thing. And do you think it works? Do you think the cube looks good in there? Does it look like she's looking at something? Does it work? Should I take it out? Should I leave the old version? I don't know. I like it with the cube in it, but you know, who knows? Maybe someone will think it looks stupid, but I like it with the cube. So let me know. Cube, no cube. What you think? What do you think? I don't know. Cube or no cube? Should I do more Mental Health Monday videos like this, where it's about myself? Or should I do more where it's like a basic, broad topic about someone's mental health? Not someone's, but about a mental illness in general, where I like get really clinical with it? Or should I do like these personable ones where I ramble and rant and go on and on? Maybe I'll do both. Who knows? I'll probably do none, because I am a slacker when it comes to these. No, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do them. All right, I'm going to leave now because I'm just like rambling. Okay, bye.